LifeCON letter number 25. This is a different stack, so this is coming from a principal. To whom it may concern, please accept this letter as a wholehearted endorsement of Mr. Ethan Fisher and the powerful message that he carries with him. I first came in contact with Mr. Fisher a long time ago after being referred to him by another school district as a prime candidate to speak with our student body regarding life choices and the consequences that follow. As a school principal, I'm finding that students are making high-risk choices earlier and earlier in life, and it was very important that I locate a dynamic speaker who would have a lasting impact on my students. Mr. Fisher was exactly what we needed. When Mr. Fisher gave his presentation to our student body, he was met with a tremendous approval from our students and staff alike. I don't think I've ever been in a more emotional or powerful presentation, nor have I ever seen students so profoundly impacted by a guest speaker. After the presentation, countless students walked up to Ethan and shared their own personal trials. Many others simply wanted to shake hands and thank him for having the courage to share his story. It is my hope and belief that our students will carry Ethan's story with them forever. I also believe that there will be students whose lives will be spared because of his moving testimony. In short, I cannot give a higher recommendation for a guest speaker. If called upon, Mr. Fisher will provide an unforgettable experience for your organization. It's coming from a school principal. And I actually use that school a lot for stories that I tell people, because the stuff that school experiences on a daily basis are things that you can't fathom. I heard some of the stories that these kids went through, and it is beyond sad. It is one of the worst situations I've ever heard, and I don't want to say what school it is to put them on blast, but those students experience things that none of us should ever have to go through. And they all do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And staff can't do anything. They can protect them while they're there on campus from 8 in the morning until 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock when they leave. But once they go home and go into their lives and deal with their parents, their foster parents, their step parents, whoever they're dealing with, there's nothing a school can do. And so that student body right there, they experience more pain and trauma than I can ever imagine. And I'll never forget, like, after that principal told me stories right before my speech, in that line he was talking about, I don't know, I probably had 100, 150 kids line up after. And every single one of them, I'm sitting there thinking, is that the kid and the stories that the principal was telling me about? And like, I'll never forget one of the kids who's like this 13-year-old boy came up to me, and he was like up to my waist. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, is this one of the kids that's experiencing what the principal was telling me about? And it just broke my heart. One of the things I've learned over the years, 750 events, 300,000, I've probably had over 300 or 30,000 conversations with people. Easy. This world is messed up. There is a veil around all of our eyes. There's a veil protecting us from this nasty, destructive, disgusting world out there. Just look at the news. That's why I don't watch the news. You turn on the news for 5 minutes and it's nothing but pain. It's nothing but accidents and trauma. I know that's why I have a hard time with people in my life, because I'm like a news station. People hang out with me, and all of a sudden I start talking about work and what I do and the stories I hear, and people don't want to hang out with me because they can't deal with that pain. They want to put the blinders on and put that veil across their face. Now, I can wholeheartedly admit, like before 2020, I had a veil on. Even though I heard all these stories, I still had this blinder on. Like, it couldn't be that bad. But the last 6 years, I've opened my eyes to the reality of the situation, and it is a nasty world. And it's sad because I think it's going to get even worse. And that's sad. Like, this world's going to get worse, not better. I did all this praying and belief and frequency and trying to get to a different elevation or a different level of consciousness and elevate through this darkness and despair. And it's like, this world is just filled with it. Now, there are a few people who can walk through life and just smile and enjoy everything, and they have this great attitude. I don't know how they do it. I've tried. I can't do it. I've tried. I know what's real and what's not, and it's sad. And again, that's why I do so well with these students. I don't sugarcoat things. I don't lie to them. I want them to know, like, this is what can and cannot happen. I got lucky in prison. I tell people that all the time. My time in prison was so easy compared to what 99% of the population goes through. If it wasn't for God protecting me, I wouldn't have made it through. But every single prison I went to, like, these magical things just happened that kept me safe. So, like, I got lucky. Because it's a messed up world. There's messed up people out there. Again, it comes down with the company you keep. Say it over and over. Like, you give me 2 days to go back and start drinking and go on a bender on some drugs, and I'm hanging out with people that'll put me right back in prison. That's how fast it'll happen. I can go out to a bar and a club, and all of a sudden I'm hanging out with people I shouldn't be. So I do everything in my power to protect myself, because I know who I become. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That's what people used to call me in high school. I can be a nice, quiet, reserved individual, but something snaps. And then you throw alcohol, especially liquor. Yeah, I'm not right. So I gotta protect myself. That's why I try to protect all these people I speak to. Because it all comes down to choice. I could choose to drink. Nobody would even know. I don't. Because I know what will happen. And that's what's scary. Is that I know what will happen, and I wouldn't be able to stop it. Like, I would love to go on a vacation and sip a couple Coronas and margaritas on the beach in Mexico or Costa Rica or Thailand and go be a tourist. But as soon as I do that and then I come back to the States, that first 6 months I'm saying, no, I can't drink. But what happens when I'm in a bad mood and I'm like, man, that was so much fun on the beach, let's do this here. Then all of a sudden 2 weeks in, I got 24 Coronas sitting in my fridge and I'm drinking 24 Coronas a night. 2 weeks later, it's navigated to a bottle and I'm drinking a fifth of Christian Brothers every night or a bottle of vodka every single night. Heck, I might do that every single day and not even leave the house. So, who am I hurting? What happens 6 months down the road and I go out and I'm wasted. And I'm trying to impress somebody or do something stupid because I'm not thinking straight. That's all it takes.